Okay. There's something I want to get off my chest, so I'm just going to use my crappy web camera here and record it with my messy hair and alien shirt. Um, there's something I've been thinking about the root of a lot of uh, vitriol and arguments that happen on the internet, and I guess in real life in general. Um, and I know we live in a day and age in which me as a straight cisgendered white male, I am not one of the most important voices, just evening the score. Um, but I've noticed a lot of white guys rallying around other white guys for what I consider to be bad causes. So if I can use my straightness, whiteness, maleness for a good cause, then I will try to, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Um, so, what I'm noticing is that, first of all, we as a people want to hold people to these extremes. We want Amy Schumer to be this ultimate feminist. Same thing goes for like Beyonce. We always want to rally against one person and hold them to this perfection. And it doesn't work that way, and it causes problems. And I'm noticing that with like Gamergate type situations, it's you go to this person's blog, you like watch their videos and stuff, and you rally against them and you hold them as your hero to the point where anything that they say you fall in line with it, their recommendations, all this stuff. And this happens with politics and has happened with politics for years upon years upon years upon years. Um, and I'm guilty of it to a degree. I definitely have certain people on the internet where I follow their stuff. Again, I watch their videos, follow them on Twitter, all of that. And sure, you start to, you want to have this person to look up to, this person to relate to, and inevitably you do let them skew your views, but um, it just it's not good. We as people are complex. We also change over time. That's the thing. The other side of this is that we're not realizing that people do change over time and that life changes. I mean, there were certain words for saying transgender that used to be okay to say, and that goes for like race and all that. And even people of these minorities and of these groups were fine with these words themselves, and then that all changed. And we as a society learn things, we as a people learn things. And we have to realize that people change over time. I've changed plenty over time. I've learned plenty over just this, past year that's gone by that I didn't know the year before. And, I try to act different or better, preferably, because of it. And we live in this, time. It's a miraculous time where we have this thing called the internet. Um, but we leave like this permanent footprint on the internet. Nothing truly goes away on the internet. You say something, you leave a video, or you tweet something, and it's there. And we need to get rid of this mindset that whatever we say is what we have to stick by no matter what, and whatever someone says is that thing that absolutely marks them. You know, it runs both ways. People need to not hold people accountable for just one thing, and people also obviously need to be self-aware that what they're saying, is again that permanent footprint. Um, Now that being said, of course there are certain things that you can do that can't be forgiven. There are, certain things that you can say that like there's no way around it. There's no saying, oh well, I've changed my views, or there's the same thing with actions. You murder someone, you're a murderer. That's it. Um, but people do change over time, and I think because we are so quick to just nail people down as one certain thing and hold them to it, people are also more apt to double down on, the things that they say, even if, maybe deep down they know that they're wrong. And again, you have these things where people rallying behind them. I mean, there's a lot of examples of this on the internet right now. Again, especially with Gamergate, and that sort of thing. And God knows I could really get into that, and anyone could. It's a complicated thing. But, just people change. People change over time. I've done crappy things in my life. I have tweets probably that I could go back now from like when I first started Twitter and say, I'm not cool with that. And I'm willing to admit that. And I hope that people are willing to say, yeah, sure, you got older, you learn things, the world changed, you changed, and all of that. I do think the main problem is less people holding other people accountable and rather these real extremes of people who just double down. These people that once confronted go no, and they come up with these BS arguments. I mean, this happens with so many things. And it has throughout history. I mean, look at the reasons why people gave in court and all of that, and, legally for having segregation and things that, basically put down minorities. There was so many BS arguments, and they've all fallen apart. And now this is happening once again with a bunch of other things. And, this is going off on kind of a different subject, but I wish people would just realize, what's for the greater good. Does it really matter that you're making this one small little argument against this one little issue? Or is it better that you just pick your battles, say, okay, that doesn't matter. What ultimately matters is this greater issue, especially when it comes to sexism. Are there a lot of instances where women are accusing men of things that they didn't do? Of course, we're humans. We do that. We lie. We make false accusations. Men, women, intersex people, all of them do this. But is there an overwhelming issue of gender inequality? I think it's hard to argue that it isn't. Will some people take advantage of that? Yes. Some people will take advantage of anything. Again, we're human. People will just take advantage of anything. People will take advantage of, I don't know, gum being on sale. You name it. Someone is going to, be a bad egg in the bunch, and you can come up with an example of it. And this is what I see people doing. I see people, talking about, rape accusations and coming up with these specific examples of, oh, well, this person was falsely accused and everyone was so quick to rally behind this person, even though they were innocent and all this stuff. But again, it's hard to argue that there isn't a greater issue of unacknowledged sexual assault and gender inequality and all of this. And again, this is a different tangent from my whole thing of rallying against, or with someone and holding someone to this absolute and becoming this absolute. But they are intertwined. So that's really all I have to say. I don't know if I want responses to this or comments or anything. It's just a thought that I have, and I don't normally do this blog sort of thing. I just really wanted to get this off of my chest. It's probably not the best idea to start off with that whole, oh, I'm a white guy, maybe white guys will listen to me thing. So again, that's an example of me apologizing, whatever, And I know people don't want to be wrong, and people want to hold themselves to a high standard. And that's awesome if you want to hold yourself to a high standard. That's really good. You should try to be the best that you can be. But also, you're not going to be the best that you can be every single day. And not from like the day you're born. It doesn't work that way. And you have to acknowledge that things are going to change and you are going to change. And you're going to go through different life experiences and change your opinion on things for various issues because of influences, because of things that have happened to you, because the issues themselves have changed. And we have to accept that that's okay. And we have to figure out when something is unforgivable and something is just a slip up, or when something is taken out of context, and we have to stay away from these absolutes. You shouldn't even take what I'm saying right now as an absolute. I don't think I'm a genius. I just think that this is something that I want to say, and I think I have a point, and maybe it won't be a point that I believe in later on. And that's my point. So that's it. Thank you for listening. I know this is odd of me in particular to do. But that's all. Thank you.